Now on to the real big news of the day. Mitt Romney has selected Paul Ryan as his vice presidential candidate, and immediately after the announcement, can you believe it? The left went into hyper-attack mode and the smears began. David Axelrod wrote a blog post on Obama's website that claimed Paul Ryan designed, quote, the extreme GOP budget that would end Medicare as we know it. He also said Ryan's plan would give tax breaks for millionaires while raising taxes on the middle class. We've got to get to this one. Barack Obama's website posted its 5 facts you need to know about Iran, including Paul Ryan is severely conservative. Oh, no. Would take us backward on women's health and equal rights. Russell Simmons tweeted that Romney and Ryan will, quote, destroy our people. What? Pictures of Ryan's high school yearbook immediately surfaced, in which he was voted most likely to brown nose. 60 Minutes spent most of its exclusive big first interview bugging Romney and Ryan about releasing their tax returns. And then there was the all-important report from CNN that had Ryan not wearing a tie to the VP announcement. There he is, tieless. How could somebody do that? Tieless. Their own Candy Crowley quoted unnamed Republicans who called the Ryan pick some sort of ticket death wish. Who are those unnamed reporters or Republicans? It wouldn't be Lindsey Graham and John McCain, would it? Now, Paul Ryan, despite what everybody says, doesn't want to kill old people. We have it on a good report here at GBTV. He also doesn't want to attack women or hurt the poor. We're still investigating the attacking women part of that. He was a great pick. And when all the old, he wants to attack women and starve the poor, and he just hates old people and wants to push them off a cliff, when all that dust settles, Americans will see that he is exactly the kind of leader that America needs. This has shown Mitt Romney to be not as lacking, how can I say this, things in his underpants that he should have. I thought for a while he was lacking a few things that were in his underpants, and he, was a sissy. And he's not. He's also very astute when it comes to political games. This is so brilliant because this is something that we haven't seen from Romney yet. He has forced Obama's hand. While the Obama administration wants to talk about everything, anything but the economy, putting Paul Ryan on the ticket forces them to talk about his extremist proposal for addressing the budget and the economy. So guess who can't avoid talking about the economy anymore? Here's the best part. And this is what I want you to remember tonight. Paul Ryan is extraordinarily easy to defend. Mark my words, at some point you're going to find yourself in a conversation with a family member or some pinhead friend who will launch into all kinds of attacks and smears and everything that they've heard from the other side, and you're going to want to defend them, but you'll be like, well, wait. Remember this, he's easy to defend. Tonight, I'm going to tick off a couple of things on the attacks against Ryan and arm you with the facts so you have them. Let's start with the most prominent attack, the one on the so-called extreme Ryan budget. Now, many of the attacks you're going to hear on Ryan stem from the items in the extreme Ryan budget. But by adding extreme, Democrats hope to make it sound really spooky, scary. Boo! But considering America's debt to GDP ratio continues to rise as our debt spirals out of control, boo! Each year, Obama runs up record deficits. New entitlements keep coming and the old ones keep expanding. I think it might be time for something maybe a little extreme, because this ain't working. Ryan is the first budget proposal that would actually deal seriously with a coming economic Armageddon that we're facing, and still do it without being really extreme. A lot of people that I know think he's not extreme enough. Instead of making the whimsical promises of a green economy saving the day or believing that we need to spend more to reduce the deficit like Biden said, Ryan's plan actually addresses bloated government agencies and reduces spending by more than $5 trillion over 10 years. I don't think it's enough, but it does address Fannie and Freddie. Namely, it seeks to get them out of the mortgage industry and put them back into the hands of the private sector where they belong. It cuts $100 billion in pork from sacred cows like the Defense Department. It cuts the tax rate for all and simplifies the tax code from 6 brackets to 2. It cuts the corporate tax rate to 25%. Cutting corporations' tax. Yeah, you know what? Under Obama, we became the highest corporate tax rate in the world. That's why nobody's doing business here. It reforms the biggest strain on America's economy, Medicare, and say what you want, but it can't be as bad as President Obama's budget, which lost in the House by the narrow margin of 414 to 0. And then again in the Senate, where it was very close, 99 to 0. He couldn't get a single vote. Ryan proposed a budget that I think at the time he could only get 6 or 7 Republicans on board with. It took great courage to propose the budget. He knew that he would be demonized. He was right. It took courage to put him on the ticket. Paul Ryan's budget is extreme, which I believe it has to be if we don't want America to become the next Greece. Thank God Ryan has the guts and the things in his underpants to be the only adult in the room and tackle it head on. And by the way, if it was so extreme, why did the Democratic senator from Oregon co-write the portion of his Medicare proposal? That's where we go next. Ryan's Medicare reform in the proposed budget has the left making all kinds of accusations. Mostly, they're trying to scare elderly people into thinking somehow or another Ryan will take away their Medicare and cause them to get sick and die. And after all, Romney gives people cancer. But is that so bad? I mean, is it a bad thing to end Medicare as we know it? Because ask the president. The president in last July said Medicare as we know it is doomed. Watch.
Number one, if you look at the numbers, then Medicare in particular will run out of money, and we will not be able to sustain that program, no matter how much taxes go up.
No matter how much taxes go up. So Ryan's plan doesn't destroy Medicare. Doing nothing will destroy Medicare and the rest of the country, and certainly stealing $700 billion from Medicare to spend it on different Obamacare functions will also kill Medicare. But here's what the Ryan plan does. In a nutshell, I want to show you how Medicare works.